Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Chew. I'm Robert Wallace. This is the place where we ask, am I choosing the way of Jesus, or am I choosing my own way? We're looking at the Holy Spirit this week. The Holy Spirit is present, and there can be no doubt that the Holy Spirit was present at the time of Jesus' baptism and on the day of Pentecost. And we're told that the Holy Spirit led Jesus into the wilderness after he was baptized. And then on the day of Pentecost, we're told that those in the upper room were filled with the Holy Spirit in Acts chapter 2, verse 4. When the Holy Spirit is present, friends, things change. Things in us change. The same Holy Spirit present at the baptism was present on the day of Pentecost. Two different moments, two different presences, if you will. Not that the Holy Spirit is different, but the circumstance was unique. In the case of Jesus, we're told that the Holy Spirit descended upon Jesus in the form of a dove. In our passage from Acts chapter 2 this week, we hear that the Holy Spirit came like a blowing violent wind and filled the whole house where they were staying. So, different situation, the same Holy Spirit, but the Holy Spirit was different in each case. Unique is the thing about the Holy Spirit. What we know is that when Jesus was baptized, God spoke his approval over Jesus. He said, "This is my son in whom I am well pleased." And then with the descending form of a dove, the dove represents peace. Then in Acts chapter 2, a violent blowing wind represents a radical change and transformation that's about to take place. Completely different situations, but the same Holy Spirit. These events help us to understand anew God's mission, God's call for the world and for the church. The present Holy Spirit enabled and empowered the apostles and the disciples gathered in that room to do what Jesus said they would do when they were filled with the Holy Spirit, when they received the power of the Holy Spirit, that they would be his witnesses. And there was a crowd there, and they heard the commotion, and they gathered around. Acts chapter 2, the rest of the passage tells us a story of how Peter was transformed and what happened on that day. 120 folks in that room, unique, because we're all uniquely made. We're all different and yet the same. The Holy Spirit deals with us uniquely. He didn't give, as far as we can tell, all 120 of those folks the gift to speak a different language, but they did provide unique gifts to each and every one of them. The end of the passage, Acts chapter 2, verse 41, tells us that 3,000 believed, were baptized on that day, and joined them. 12 brothers couldn't do that all by themselves. 120 of them were at work, making connections with folks, sharing the gospel, relating to them. This is the work of the Holy Spirit to enable us uniquely to do what God has created us to do. Here are my questions for today. Since we know the Holy Spirit is present, do I know that the Holy Spirit is present and works with me individually? Do I understand the unique ways the Holy Spirit is at work, and yet the Holy Spirit is the same? Do I believe that the Holy Spirit is present right now, today? Am I listening for the Holy Spirit's guidance today, right now? Am I going to choose the way of Jesus that leads to a full life, or am I going to choose my own way? I'm praying for us as we consider this passage. Let's allow the Holy Spirit to give us eyes to see and ears to hear God's truth from his word. Let's have receptive hearts and minds to receive these truths. And then let's take a step of faith today with the same boldness, commitment, and courage of Jesus to do what the Holy Spirit is leading us to do. I pray you'll have a wonderful day, my friends. Go in the peace of God. Blessings to you. Bye for now.